Demi Lovato's new music video for Dancing with the Devil recreates the night of her overdose. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have got to talk about Demi Lovato's new music video, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gianna Gravelisi. Gianna, literally all I can say is wow. I mean, this video has absolutely blown my mind. I know you're a fan. What was your reaction to watching this?
I was speechless and I was in complete tears. I mean, this was kind of hard to watch in a sense. Obviously her documentary just came out, so I've been keeping up with that. And this music video just completely brings alive the story she told of the night of her overdose. So I had chills. Like I said, I was just bawling my eyes out. Like, poor Demi, but at the same time, it was an amazing video followed by an amazing song.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm with you. It was emotional. It was a roller coaster because obviously the song is incredible and you're like, wow, taking that in. Then you've got to take in the visuals, which I'm with you. They were really, some of them were hard to watch, hard to process. But at the end of the day, I think the word that comes to mind is powerful. I think this is going to be one of those videos that people talk about for years and years to come. Demi actually directed the short film. It's not even a music video, it's a short film with the director who helped create the YouTube series, Michael D. Rather. So if you watch the series and you're watching this video, it's all one big, they go together to really share this story, which I think is incredible, the way that they really put so much thought and care into this. Let's get into some of these clips because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to break down. I want to start with literally just the opening of the video because chills right off the bat.
It's just a little red wine, I'll be fine.
Oh my God. So Gianna, I have to say that first moment where we see her in the hospital, I mean, I just went, oh, I knew what we were in for. I knew what was coming. But that first glimpse, I just went, oh, wow. I mean, we're doing this. It's happening. I mean, what did you feel when you saw that image?
I mean, same exact reaction as you. Also, literally chills at my arm as we speak. But I knew that this video was going to be a recreation, but this is an exact replica to me. I mean, it looks so real. And Fiona, I don't know if you've been watching the documentary, but as I'm looking at this clip, you see this red and blue wire. There's obviously blood. It's attached to her neck. And her mother in the documentary discussed that she had asked the doctor, what is that? What if Demi rips it out in the middle of the night? I don't want that on her. And the doctor said that's a machine that is filtering her blood. So it's taking her blood out of her body, cleaning it, and putting it back into her body. And the doctor also said it's not coming out of her neck because we had to sew it into her neck. So I know that's a little graphic, but that's also why I have chills too, because it's there. She didn't even move past any details of her overdose. Mm-hmm. So just the utter fact that that's included, it's incredible and it's chilling. It truly is.
Yeah, I mean, you are so right. The attention to detail, the things sprinkled throughout. I mean, I hate to use this term because it really just doesn't feel right for the moment. But we have grown so accustomed to looking for Easter eggs, right? In music videos. And these are not Easter eggs. These are important, embedded details of a really, really pivotal moment in her life. But if you look for those, for lack of a better word, I wish I had another way to describe it, but kind of Easter eggs, right? There are a lot of callbacks to the real reality of this story. And in this next clip, we're going to see, not as maybe intense as that first one you pointed out, but another moment that kind of circles really back into real life. So let's check out this next clip as well.
I've been good, don't I deserve it? I think I earned it, feels like it's worth it in my mind.
So, as you guys can see in the clips of her, not in the hospital, she is wearing a green jacket, and they're saying that the green windbreaker she's seen wearing is a replica of the opening ceremony jacket that she wore on the night before her overdose. So, just little details here that, like, if you're watching this music video, she's in a green jacket, whatever, right? You're not going to pick up on that necessarily. I think it really goes to show the care that went into the video and how important these details were to Demi, right? This was a huge moment in her life, and this video needed to reflect that moment to the best of its ability. And I think she just did such a phenomenal job.
She really did do such a great job. I mean, like you said, Fiona, she's wearing the exact jacket that she wore the night of her overdose, and her hair is even the same. Again, I'll throw it back to the documentary. They shared selfies that she actually took the night of her overdose, and like, this is exactly what she looked like. So it's mind-blowing to me that, again, it's an exact replica of that night as far as the jacket, the hair, the makeup. Like, it's insane what she did here.
It truly is. It absolutely is. And obviously, there are some artistic elements that were sprinkled in as well that aren't as rooted in reality, but I think that they are a really powerful storytelling tool here as well. One of those we're going to see in this next clip. Keep an eye on the disco ball, you guys.
Twisted reality, hopeless insanity.
Okay, you guys, so if you noticed that disco ball and the sort of following, visual effects, there are some theories that the disco ball at the beginning of the clip, it's also featured throughout the video, you'll notice it popping up, shows fans what Demi was feeling when she overindulged on alcohol and drugs. And that's sort of the diffused effect with the lights on the mirrors, that blurry effect it gives, is sort of the feelings that you get when you're on drugs or on alcohol. And I think that is just such a creative way, I think, to help sort of carry this narrative.
Definitely. And I don't know if you noticed, Fiona, but sometimes behind her hospital bed in certain clips, it will be the club background instead of just the regular hospital wall. So they then pan up to the disco ball. So I think that they were kind of morphing the two scenes together, because obviously her attendance at this club was one of the things that eventually led to her overdose, thus her being in the hospital. So another really artistic touch of detail there.
Absolutely. I mean, truly just so incredible what they were able to do with this video. I know we keep saying we're getting chills, but this next clip, truly, I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about it, because it brings me back to the moment we learned about her overdose. And I think it's really, really interesting how they worked this into the video. Let's check this one out as well.
Demi Lovato this morning, we're hearing rushed to the hospital after reportedly suffering a heroin overdose, surrounded by family and friends.
Oh, just literally brought me right back. I remember where I was when I heard the news. I remember like not believing it, refreshing Twitter, looking things up, trying to figure out what was going on. I mean, I know so many fans were so heartbroken that night. It was just such a big moment. I feel like everyone who, cares for Demi, is a fan of Demi's, remembers how they felt in that moment.
Exactly, Fiona. I remember reading it on, I think, Twitter, and then eventually turning on the news and having those exact like audio clips basically playing. And this, again, we keep saying chills, but it does give me chills. And this is when I first watched the video where I started to tear up, because I do remember where I was and I remember reading about this. And I felt in the moment, I thought she was better. Like, I thought she had gotten the help she needed. I know previously, like, she had been in a rehab center, I think right before her overdose. And I thought everything was fine. She looked great. She was performing, and for this to happen, I remember I was just like baffled, and I didn't believe any of the headlines at all. I thought, like, this cannot be happening. Like, it's not Demi, but unfortunately it was. So this moment in the video definitely did bring me right back to that exact moment.
Absolutely. I am totally with you. I think it was such a shock to all of our systems. And of course, I mean, the next part of the music video is sort of going to walk us through exactly how we got to this moment. So let's check out this next clip that, again, I mean, listen, it's the word of the video. It gave me chills. So, as simple of a clip as that is, I feel like it is one of the most important, right? I mean, that's like the handoff. That is the moment, the turning point, if you will. And it almost struck me how simple it was, right? I mean, there could have been a million different things happening. This bag, this moment, this, if we could have just skipped this one few minute period in time, right? All of this could have ended up differently. But simple moments can really be something that will change your life forever.
Exactly. And in this moment, again, throwing it back to the documentary, Demi had discussed that she, after the club, texted her dealer. So right before this, you do see her on her phone. So that's what she was doing there. He came over and she mentioned that he brought a duffel bag. So it wasn't like she asked for one thing and he brought that one thing. He brought a duffel bag full of drugs to her. And that's what inevitably led her to mix a mass amount of things that she'd never done before. You know, she was on coke, heroin, amongst obviously alcohol, a lot of different things, because this dealer provided her with a big variety of choices, I guess I should say. And it's kind of scary because, like you said, Fiona, it's like this one small moment. We obviously know what happens in the end. So it's frightening to see. And I also think that this was one of the hardest moments to watch too, because like it's obviously the act of her doing it. She also sings the lyrics. It's just a little white line. It'll be fine. And that shows obviously what she had done. And she wasn't fine in the end. So really, really chilling once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the lyrics, I feel like that's a good point. It, as the song goes on, obviously, if you're listening, you hear that line change from wine to line, right? I mean, it shows the progression, it shows the buildup. And even though we all know what's coming next, it is truly hard to watch. I mean, this next clip is so powerful, and it just makes me wonder what it must have been like for her to recreate this, you know, to film this, each of these scenes. I mean, I can't imagine. So I just imagine that moment, you know, laying in a bed, pretending to be in that state, having people, I can't, like, the emotional journey she must have went through while creating this to make it as accurate and as powerful as she did. I mean, it just goes to show how strong she is, I feel like.
I was going to say those exact words, Fiona. And it's weird because I don't like saying the word strong, like he's so strong, she's so strong, because I feel like there's such power in like something that's so much stronger than this to describe it. Like I'm at a loss for words because she went through this. Like we're just watching the reenactment recreation, but she actually went through this and not even that long ago. So for her to go back and do this kind of all over again in a conscious state of mind, that must have been kind of mentally tolling for her. But the fact that she could go ahead and do it, and obviously she helped direct this, it says a lot about her as a person. She is strong. She did overcome this. And again, it is just crazy to me that it actually happened and she did it. She didn't have like someone else play her for the video. It's her going through this. And you know, I admire that about Demi. I think it's kind of facing your fears in a sense. That's what she's doing with this video by going back and doing this. So, you know, she really is a strong woman. And I love this lady.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. This next clip, I mean, all of the lyrics are powerful, but for some reason, this totally stood out to me. Let's check out this clip as well. So I think this is just, I mean, obviously, if you've watched the documentary, if you've been following this, she has been very candid, right, about her state of mind and her journey and all of the things. But there's something that really just touched me about, like, the state of mind of thinking you're in control when in actuality you aren't. And, going through this and having to reflect on that and understand and process the choices and the path that got you to where you were, it just, I don't know, it's very eye-opening.
It really is eye-opening. And as you mentioned, in the documentary, she is so candid. And she even went on to say, she was so good at hiding what she was doing time and time before the overdose that it just was kind of like an alternate reality. Like, oh, if nobody knows, then it's not really happening. So it's kind of like she was living this double life because people seriously didn't have a clue. Her best friends, her assistant, people on her team, they had zero idea that this was happening. So it just goes to show, like, she was so honest about that. And it's scary to think that. And obviously, it's not just Demi. This happens in life. This happens to people we know. It's happened to other celebrities. So this is happening in real life. So I also think that this video is going to be a huge eye opener to everybody, not just Demi fans. So I think that this video will be a great learning tool for some people down the future.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is such a great point. I think there are so many celebrities from all eras of, Hollywood and fame, right? Where there's this sort of glamorized, like casual, everyone sort of knows that they suffered and struggled with drug addiction. And this is a really total, full explanation, visual as to what that actually looks like. It's not keeping those struggles sort of hush hush private behind the scenes. And I think you're right. This is going to be so impactful for so many people. So many people out there can relate to this. I am sure there are fellow celebrities who have probably been through something very similar that, chose to keep this journey private. And it's just really interesting to watch as someone who, personally can't relate to it. I feel like you can empathize and you learn so much. And that's why it's so, important that she shared this story with the world. I think she really, like I said, I think she's done something here that's going to be talked about for years and years to come. Let's check out this next clip because you guys, every single moment in this video is impactful. So right there, she is singing the lyrics, almost made it to heaven, closer than you know. And obviously, I mean, those are such powerful lyrics. We see her there with family members, fighting in the hospital. And she has talked about this, you guys. In the hospital, she suffered from 3 strokes, a heart attack, asphyxiation, pneumonia. I mean, this was not a goes to the hospital, walks out the next day kind of situation. Her body went through the absolute ringer. Her loved ones obviously had to go through so much as she was literally fighting for her life. I mean, this was such a pivotal, life-altering, for the rest of time, she will be kind of living some of the effects that she went through because of this overdose. It's truly just so powerful.
Yeah, this moment especially, I mean, I was already crying, but I think I started crying harder here because in the documentary, once again, her sister actually told a story about how she first visited Demi in the hospital and Demi woke up. Demi was actually declared legally blind, so she couldn't see her sister. And she said, "Who is that?" And her sister was crushed. And like that in the documentary crushed me. So then obviously this scene with the loved ones, I started thinking about that story. So if you know the story, like you can obviously pick up on these details and then it'll bring you into the even more intricate details of the exact story of what happened. So this was like just icing on the cake for the video because it was so heart-wrenching to watch. Like obviously these are actors, like even though that's Demi, like that's not her actual family, but like seeing this happen, it's like we've already seen the story as sad as it is. And then it's like now we're getting into the after effects that she has to live through. So the fact that she also included this scene was yet another intricate detail.
Oh my gosh, yes, Gianna, that is such a good point. And, that story, that powerful moment between her and her sister, she actually translated that into another song called I See You. So really, I mean, across the board, if you put all the pieces together, she is just bringing fans into this moment in her life and giving people such a clear picture.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to the album and I think that it's again amazing the fact that she took such a traumatic, horrible experience that she went through and turned it into art, essentially. Especially that song ICU, considering again, she was blind and couldn't see her sister. And then it translates obviously to the letters ICU because she was in the
Mhm.
ICU at the hospital. Like there's so many details behind her album and the video that again you just have to applaud her as an artist, like taking this experience and turning it into that.
Oh, absolutely. Could not agree with you more. We do have one more clip to check out, so let's look at this one as well. So obviously, I mean, that's a survivor. And I think that word, I mean, it says it all, right? I mean, she is truly such a strong survivor.
Yeah, she really is. And that tattoo is like where that neck device was that I had mentioned earlier. So, again, down to the details, even the placement of this tattoo has a lot to do with the meaning behind the tattoo as well. And I couldn't agree more. The word survivor just suits her perfectly. There's no other way to describe her.
Absolutely. No other way to describe her. I think overall, this has been such a powerful video. I think it's going to start such important conversations. And, I think to anyone out there who is a Demi Lovato fan that's holds so much weight, obviously we've all been along for her journey for such a long time, but there are going to be people out there who aren't as familiar with Demi who watch this and, are exposed to her story, learn her story. And I think there's something in this video that can touch anyone who watches it, right?
I agree. This video, as I said earlier, I think it's going to be sort of a learning tool for the near future and time as time goes by. It's really scary and hard to watch again. So I think like if a younger demographic watches this, it'll make them think, what's this video about? Like, what did she do? They'll gain the knowledge to then
Mhm.
hopefully prevent other people from doing this exact thing in the future. Drug abuse and alcohol abuse is such a huge, huge problem for our society as a whole. Like, not even just our generation, like previous generations, even hopefully not future generations. So, I think that Demi using her voice and really using a visual tool to really show everyone, hey, this is what happened. Like, don't be me, basically, is what she's saying. I think that's gonna
Mhm.
hopefully be a huge key to helping spread, start that conversation about this.
Oh, absolutely. Could not have said it better, Gianna. You guys watching, we want to know what you thought of this video, what you're taking away from it. Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Gianna Gravalisi. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.